My grandmother had a rule I dismissed as superstition for most of my life. She would never allow a struggling plant to remain inside the house. The moment something began to decline, it went outside. If it could not recover, it was removed entirely. She said a dying plant inside the home invited the wrong kind of energy to settle in. I thought she was being dramatic. Then I started reading what traditions in China, India, West Africa, and Southeast Asia have said about plants and household energy for thousands of years, and I found that my grandmother was not superstitious at all. She was working from a wisdom older than any gardening book I own. These 15 plants have been placed in homes around the world not as decoration, but as living tools for attracting fortune, clearing stagnant energy, and protecting what a family has worked to build. If you are new here, welcome to the Gardening Grandma. Hit that subscribe button right now. Let us begin. Number 15, aloe vera. Most of us know aloe vera from the kitchen windowsill, the plant you grab after a burn. But across South American, African, and Asian households for centuries, aloe has carried a far more specific role: the energy cleanser of the home. Its thick, water-filled leaves are believed to absorb stagnant energy, the kind that clings to a room where worry has lived too long. Here is what most gardeners never discover until the damage is already done. An overwatered aloe collapses completely. Leaves go limp and the plant loses all its presence. In spiritual terms, that signals a home losing vitality rather than building it. Keep the leaves firm and upright. That firmness is the plant working. Place it east or northeast near morning light. My rule now is simple. Once a month, wipe its leaves with clean water and speak one intention aloud. What you want to clear, what you want to call in. Number 14, chrysanthemum. In China, the chrysanthemum has been cultivated for over 2,000 years, not for beauty alone, but for what it represents: the ability to bloom with full generosity when everything else has gone quiet. It flowers in autumn, the season when most plants have retreated. A plant that gives abundantly in difficult conditions is the living symbol of abundance that does not depend on perfect circumstances. Yellow and gold varieties align with the earth element and the frequency of financial flow. Place them in the south or southwest corner of your living room. Here is what most gardeners never discover until the damage is already done. Chrysanthemums are scientifically proven to remove benzene and formaldehyde from indoor air. A home with cleaner air is one where the mind is sharper and decisions come from clarity. My rule now is simple: replace wilted chrysanthemums immediately. A dying flower left in a wealth corner is, in this tradition, a door left open for misfortune to walk through. Number 13, Boston fern. In Native American tradition, ferns are associated with sincerity, new beginnings, and threshold energy, the power that lives between inside and outside, between what is leaving and what is arriving. The Boston fern is a clearing plant. Where others attract or protect, the fern clears the path. It removes residual energy of arguments and financial stress from a home's entrance, creating the blank slate that makes it easier for new fortune to enter. Place it near the front door, elevate it on a hook or high shelf so its energy cascades downward into the entry space. Research consistently links higher indoor humidity, which ferns produce, with lower cortisol levels. Lower cortisol means better decision-making under financial pressure. My rule now is simple: mist it every few days and let it do its quiet work at the entrance where it matters most. Number 12, peace lily. The peace lily is not a plant of accumulation. It does not pull money toward you. What it does is more foundational. It removes the conditions that block prosperity from arriving: resentment, guilt, the low vibration that settles into a home after prolonged financial stress. The peace lily absorbs all of it. Place it in the north or east direction of your living space, both aligned with the energy of new beginnings. Here is what most gardeners never discover until the damage is already done. NASA's Clean Air Study identified the peace lily as one of the most effective plants for removing ammonia, benzene, and trichloroethylene from indoor air. A cleaner space holds a higher vibration, and that is exactly where wealth energy settles most comfortably. My rule now is simple. Place a small white stone at its base. White represents clarity and incoming energy. The stone keeps the clearing power working through the night. Number 11. Holy basil. In Hinduism, holy basil, known as tulsi, is not simply a plant, it is the earthly embodiment of Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth and sustained prosperity. For thousands of years, Indian families have kept tulsi at the center of the home, offering water at dawn, lighting a lamp beside it on Thursday evenings. The belief is this: where tulsi thrives, Lakshmi dwells. And where Lakshmi dwells, the household is protected from poverty and discord. Beyond its sacred role, holy basil is one of the most documented adaptogenic herbs known, meaning it actively helps the body manage stress. A household with lower stress makes better decisions and moves through financial difficulty with more clarity. Place it east, where morning sunlight reaches it first. My rule now is simple. Light a small oil lamp beside it on Thursday evenings. This practice has survived every generation and families that kept it. There is a reason it did. We are halfway through. Before we go further, drop a comment below and tell me which of these 15 plants you already have in your home. I read every single one. And if you have not subscribed yet, please do it right now. Number 10. The ZZ plant. The ZZ plant's quiet appearance completely belies its reputation. Its thick, waxy leaves, each one glossy as if freshly polished, are understood in Chinese tradition as vessels of stored wealth. In feng shui, the southeast direction governs the wealth area of the home. Place your ZZ plant there and you are connecting a living energy source directly to your home's prosperity circuit. The warning that comes with this plant: never let the leaves go dull or yellow without acting immediately. A wilting ZZ plant in the wealth corner signals leaking fortune. It is also one of the most effective air purifiers for modern interiors, removing chemicals released continuously by furniture and paint. My rule now is simple. Place a small piece of citrine crystal beside the base. The combination of the plant's earth energy and the crystal's light frequency is considered one of the most potent wealth activations available in any room. Number 9. Fragrant Dracaena. The fragrant Dracaena carries a presence in a room that is difficult to ignore. In spiritual tradition, it is associated with steady, long-term prosperity, not sudden windfalls, but the consistent flow of wealth that builds a life over time. What makes it extraordinary is that it can bloom indoors, which is genuinely rare. When it does, the blossoms release a soft fragrance at night. In feng shui and several West African traditions, that event is understood as a signal that something significant is approaching. Place it in the living room, hallway, or near the main entrance, wherever energy moves most frequently in your home. My rule now is simple. If your Dracaena blooms, do not cut the flowers. In this tradition, cutting that bloom is cutting the fortune that arrived with it. Leave them untouched and watch what follows. Number 8. The snake plant. 3 separate cultures arrived at the same conclusion about this plant, independently across different centuries. In Chinese feng shui, it is named among the 8 plants of good fortune, valued for absorbing negative energy at the household entrance. In West African practice, it is placed at the doorway as a protector, its upright leaves understood as facing outward, keeping what threatens the household at bay. And in Brazilian folk tradition, it is called the Sword of St. George, placed at entrances specifically to prevent envy and financial interference from entering from outside. 3 cultures, the same placement, the same purpose. Here is what most gardeners never discover until the damage is already done. A red ribbon tied around the base activates yang energy, turning a passive protector into an active one. That detail is what most people skip. My rule now is simple. This plant goes near your front door, not as decoration, as a guardian. Number 7. The rubber plant. In feng shui, large-leafed plants with broad, waxy surfaces are wealth collectors. Their surface area draws and holds prosperity energy the way a wide net catches more than a narrow one. Stand at your front entrance and look toward the far left corner of the room ahead of you. That is your wealth point. Place your rubber plant there. Here is what most gardeners never discover until the damage is already done. Dust on broadleaves dulls them quickly, and dusty leaves on a wealth plant signal blocked financial energy. Wipe them regularly with a clean, damp cloth. Water only, no chemicals. My rule now is simple. Use a red or gold pot. In this tradition, the container is part of the plant's energetic identity, not just its home, but its amplifier. Number 6. Pothos. The name devil's ivy comes from one fact. This plant refuses to die. In low light, when neglected, when it appears to have nothing left, it keeps growing. In spiritual tradition across Southeast Asia, that refusal to surrender is understood as the energy of unstoppable abundance. A plant that cannot be killed carries the energy of something that cannot be stopped. That is why pothos is placed in homes and businesses by people who want their financial growth to carry the same quality, persistent, adaptive, and impossible to permanently block. Place it high on a shelf or in a hanging planter so the vines cascade downward. East or southeast is the ideal direction. My rule now is simple. Do not cut the vines unless they are dying. Each new leaf is considered an extension of the abundance moving toward you. Length in this tradition is a measure of what is already in motion. Number 5. The jade plant. In Chinese culture, the jade plant carries 3 names: the money plant, the friendship tree, and the lucky plant. All 3 point toward the same energy. Its round, plump leaves are shaped like coins, and in Eastern symbolism, the circle represents divine support, the flow of provision that does not run dry. Here is what most gardeners never discover until the damage is already done. Jade plants grow slowly by design, and that pace is meaningful. Slow, steady growth is the energy of wealth that lasts, rather than arrives dramatically and disappears. Place it near your front door, on a work desk, or in the southeast corner. My rule now is simple. Never accept a jade plant given under obligation. Grow your own from a cutting or receive it as a true gift. The energy of how it arrived follows it home. Number 4. The banana plant. Long before the banana became a grocery staple, it held sacred standing at the doorways of homes across India, Southeast Asia, and West Africa. In Hinduism, it is considered the earthly dwelling of both Lord Vishnu and Goddess Lakshmi. To grow one with genuine care is to extend an open invitation. In Buddhist practice, bananas are among the most sacred altar offerings, symbols of abundance, purity, and humility. What is worthy of the altar carries altar-level energy into the home around it. Place it in the east, northeast, or north direction of your outdoor space, never too close to the house, so the energy flows toward the home rather than pressing against it. My rule now is simple. If your banana plant blooms, speak your deepest intention to it on the night it first opens. According to this tradition, a plant in flower is at the height of its power. Number 3, lucky bamboo. The plant at number 3 carries a spiritual reputation so deep that some families pass it down through generations like a true inheritance. Lucky bamboo is one of the most powerful living concentrators of qi, life force, in Chinese tradition. Families who cultivate it with real intention do not discard it when they move. They propagate it, giving cuttings to children entering their first home, to newlyweds beginning a life together. The cutting carries the accumulated intention of every person who tended it before. That is what makes it an inheritance rather than a plant. The number of stalks matters specifically. 3, happiness, wealth, longevity. 5, all 5 areas of life. 6, financial growth. Place it in a clear glass vase with clean water and white stones at the base. Tie a red ribbon around the stalks. My rule now is simple. Change the water every 7 to 10 days and speak a fresh intention each time. The plant is a living vessel. What you pour into it is part of what it carries. Number 2, Chinese evergreen. The deep reds, rich pinks, and layered greens of the Chinese evergreen's leaves are understood in Feng Shui as carriers of fire, life force, forward movement, and financial activation. This is not a passive plant. Its impact is felt the moment it enters a room. What makes it practically remarkable is that it thrives in low light. Most high-energy spiritual plants demand direct sun. This one asks for very little and gives back abundantly, which mirrors exactly the kind of prosperity it is associated with, arriving without noise and staying without conditions. Place it southeast or east and rotate it toward light occasionally. My rule now is simple. Place a small dish of fresh fruit nearby, replenished regularly. In multiple Southeast Asian traditions, fresh fruit beside a living plant activates the energy of ongoing nourishment and sustained increase. Number 1, the money tree. There is a story from Taiwan about a farmer who, deep in financial hardship, found a small, unusual tree growing alone in a field. He took it home and tended it with the care of someone who had very little left to give, but gave it anyway. As the tree grew, his circumstances quietly shifted. He propagated it, sold the new plants at market, and from that single tree found in a field, his entire financial life was restored. That plant is the money tree. In Feng Shui, it belongs in the southeast wealth corner. Its braided trunk locks fortune in place. Each strand a different stream of wealth woven together and held. Its 5-leafed branches represent the 5 elements in perfect balance. Here is what most gardeners never discover until the damage is already done. Never allow it to sit in standing water. Root rot arrives quickly and recovery is slow. Indirect light and moderate watering are all it asks. My rule now is simple. Place 6 coins at the base of the pot. 6 is the number associated with incoming wealth in Chinese numerology. The coins signal your intention. The tree does the rest. One plant that deserves its own mention, even though it did not make the countdown: lavender. In European folk tradition and in decades of research alike, lavender quiets financial fear. It does not attract money directly. What it does is remove the anxiety around money. And anxiety is what keeps abundance at arm's length more than almost anything else. Place it in your bedroom window. A mind that rests without fear wakes with the kind of clarity that changes everything. 15 plants, 15 living guardians. The garden you tend is a conversation with the world around you. Every plant you choose with intention is a signal you are sending, that your home is open, that you are ready, that abundance is welcome here. Until next time, happy gardening. Take care of yourselves and take care of those beautiful gardens of yours.